Hello, YouTubers. This is another session for me and Ricardo where we continue to build an end-to-end feature for deleting posts from a simple open source social media platform that we call Tarafu. Tarafu is a word that means get to know each other. And in the last time, Ricardo and I basically really put a little bit of a high-level architecture there. Sorry, a low-level architecture for our design. And we went and said, we're gonna go, we already built, a database integration with a storage broker. We said we're gonna delete an item from the database, and then we built a foundation service. We built a controller, and yesterday we built the API broker side. So today, Ricardo, I think we're gonna have to start building the foundation service on the UI side. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you want to kick it off?
Sure.
Let's go to town. Just set it up. If you can set this up for this session, I'm good with that. That'd be a great way to start. Let's do it, my friend.
All right. Let me just share the screen.
Hmm. Someone was asking me today, I think his name is Muhammad Yasser. He's from Bangladesh. He's a very smart guy, and he's always following up with me on social media platforms and all that. And he asked me a question. He said to me, how do you increase that pairing percentage in your Git file? Let me ask you this. Does your Git file profile has pairing percentage for you too, Ricardo?
Yeah.
It should. It should,
Yeah.
because you and I have been pairing. So what
Yeah.
it basically does, it basically goes and says, give me let's see every pull request, and based on the commit history, it determines there has been multiple people working on that particular feature. And it gives you a percentage. So it basically says, yeah, Ricardo definitely hangs out with engineers. Is not, some weirdo sitting in a basement writing code by himself, Mr. Robot kind of thing. I don't know if you know that show, Mr. Robot. I like it. The guy that plays that role, his name is Rami Malek. He's from Egypt. He's my homeboy. So it's pretty cool. Watch it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. All right, we can see your screen, my friend. Let's go ahead and let's create a new branch, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to main, pull from main, and then we basically gonna go and basically I think we need to create a new branch. We're gonna call it foundations dash post dash delete, right?
Post dash delete. Yep.
Or
Correct.
is it or is it dash remove?
No, it would be delete because
Why?
we're on the. Oh wait, no, it would be removed because we're on the foundations.
There you go.
Yeah. Can't forget about that. Minor
Okay,
details.
let's have another branch. That's okay, man. We'll get there. The only way to get there is to get there. Let's do it.
All right. Based on main, let me just show. All
Okay.
right.
It
Yeah.
looks like it looks like your branch have changes. This is what we call a dirty branch. Let's reset everything. Go ahead. You wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reason why it's just like that because I noticed there were some NuGet packages that needed some updates.
Do
So,
that in its own code drop, completely
uh,
separate.
okay.
I'll tell you what, it's 3 points, man. I'm just trying to get to kind of give you the I'm just trying to give you the
Okay.
kind of heads up. Mm,
So let me just undo the changes then first.
okay.
Okay.
You can also stash these changes so you can pull them later, or you could just, update the NuGets later. Either way is fine with me. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So let's just open this little front here.
Okay,
So
so
we're
let's
going,
just make sure that your brokers have this delete by ID action in it. Mm. I don't
uh,
think you have the latest because I know. Yeah, let's just open this one and see what's in there.
all right.
Okay, you have it.
Uh,
Perfect.
yep.
Okay, then let's build foundation services. So what do we need for that? We need a folder that's called foundations, sorry, services, and then underneath services we need foundations, and then underneath foundations we need what? Posts, right? So three folders, or two folders. Yep,
So the post,
yep. There
and
you go.
then
And then we need an interface, and we need a concrete class, right?
so the let's see, an iPost service.
Yeah, iPost service. That's right.
All right. We got the interface here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would need a concrete uh,
Post service.
class post service.
That's right.
Correct. And this would be public uh,
Partial.
partial partial class. Yep.
Okay, so what do we need to do? We want to remove post by ID, right? So in the
Yeah.
interface, we need a function or a prototype of a function that basically takes in a GUID, an ID of a post ID, and returns a post that has been deleted, right? I think. And I don't think we need
Yeah.
partial on this interface because we don't break out of it, not just yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Happy to have them.
yeah.
All
So
right.
okay, let's do that. So zoom in a little bit because for the people watching us, it's gonna get a little tricky. Yeah, go ahead.
Does that look okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's perfect.
All right. Okay. So it would be a value task,
That's
right?
right. Before you finish this one, someone asked me this question today on YouTube. Someone said, "Why do we use value task at all instead of using task?" Right?
Yeah.
Because both of them will work. Why value task instead of task? Let me tell you why, and just to explain to some people here. Value task is 60 nanosecond execution. Like it's half of the time that a task would take to actually execute. Why is that? Value task actually as a type stands for value or task. Value or task. What that basically means is that if the value is already available, then just give it to me. If not, then go ahead and execute the task and pull the value for me, right?
Mhm.
Task basically says always go and execute an asynchronous task and go get the value that's there. Now,
Which is why it's actually faster because of the value part, right?
right.
This
So
is
value
already
task is
available.
saying
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. If the value is present, just give it to me, right?
Yeah.
Task plays trickery on the compiler. It says even if the value is there, I'm going to pretend that there is a task running,
Mm.
right? So I can respond to you. And it takes extra 60 nanosecond cycles just to execute. This is what we call asymptotic time. It takes extra 60 nanoseconds to actually give you back the value. Now, some people would say, Hassan, with the nerd stuff. Who cares? It's just 60 nanoseconds, man. Who cares? Let me tell you why this, it's just like everything else in life. It adds up, right? When you
Hmm.
save, when you save $1 every day in 10 years, you're gonna have quite a bit of money, right? You're gonna have $3,000 or something, right? It's the same thing. If you if you save 60 nanoseconds, and you can just simply by changing a type, I'm not asking you to go like and reinvent, a compiler or rewrite an entire compiler from scratch. I'm just saying change the type. You're already typing task, just write value next to it, right? Why is that important? If you're building a large enterprise application, right? A large enterprise application that has millions of transactions that happen every day. Think about, Xbox subscriptions platform, right?
Yeah.
You have 20 million or 10 million players on the system going all the time, subscribing, buying things. There's these microtransactions inside. Oh, I'm playing Call of Duty. I want to buy this thing or that thing. These things really add up. If you don't optimize your system, like maybe in a smaller system, a 60 nanosecond save doesn't matter. If you're building a mom and pop shop and you get a probably 5 or 10 customers every day, sure. But try to build a website like Amazon.com. It
Yeah.
really adds up. It really, really matters. So this is the difference between value task and task. I'll try to make a special video for it, but let's just go back and focus on this one. Go ahead.
Okay. So this will be the post.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Hopefully you would get the. Oh yeah, I think it's. Okay. So let's
Uh-huh.
see. It would be remove post by ID, which gets a 9. Gonna do it. Post ID. All
Yep.
right. Just have the missing namespaces. All right. Uh, Post. Do we even have a post one? Yeah, we do. Okay. I'll just add it manually
Okay.
then. Uh, models post. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So post space. It's weird. Same.
Yep. What? It's not pulling it for you?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not pulling it from
So
the
can't
model.
so click escape and try again. That's a bug in Visual Studio. It bugs out. Yeah, there it is. No, it doesn't. Oh, do we
No.
not have a post model at all?
Yeah, well, it's right here.
Then why it's not doing the do? That's weird.
Yeah. Give me one sec.
Wait,
Let's
wait,
see
wait,
if
wait. You
it's,
have? Yeah.
yeah, give me a second here. Let me just reopen it.
Okay.
Oh,
What?
interesting.
Okay, so this is actually really interesting. Okay, so first of all, let's do remove post by ID async. So I type async there at the end of that method. That's important because it's an asynchronous method, right? That's that
I
guy.
I
Mhm.
think I know what happened. I
What?
think I should have named the folder posts.
Posts. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
See.
catch. See? Just one more month and you'll be just fine. Yeah, you have to persist it across all. So do control period on this post thing and make sure you rename it everywhere. Yep. Okay, now try this.
There we go.
There you go. Yikes. Programming will keep you humble. You're like, well, it's your fault. I'm not going to tell you what. It's like, programming is sitting down face to face with the Riddler from the Batman, just sitting there and he's throwing riddles at you all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go at the very top, do control period, and hit the enter button to add a header to your file. You're doing a
Yes,
new
sir.
files. Yeah, and
And
let's clean the air there. One more. Yeah. Okay, let's put a not implemented exception piece on this guy. So that's the concrete class, like the implementation.
so
Hmm.
I have a question. In this case, I don't know if this has to do because of the if it's a partial class. Why is it that we can't add the interface in this case, and we have to manually implement the
Oh, like
or am
adding,
I?
oh, like adding the interface?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is what you normally do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Forget about
No, no, no. Wait, 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 wait. What was the question? Maybe you're gonna teach me something. Tell
it.
me. No, seriously. I'm genuinely, sincerely honest. What were
I,
you saying?
no, it's just that because I saw an earlier video. I think it was on Sally Library.
Sally
It was,
Library?
I noticed that you guys didn't add the interface on one of the videos, and I was kind of curious. Like, wait, you don't need to add the interface and then implement it automatically. I
Oh
was
yeah.
just yeah,
Yeah, this series is very like beginner, like from nothing. So I was just
yeah,
like basically showing if you're explaining, you can't explain dependency injection to someone who doesn't know what a class is yet, right?
mm,
They have to start really concrete and then you work your way up to that level. Takes a
it's
little
nice.
bit of time. Yeah,
Yeah,
learning C sharp for Sally is not for you. You're already advanced. You already know C sharp. So don't look at that. You probably want to look at my sessions. Probably what's going to be useful for you is this new series, like the Sophie project. That's
yeah,
definitely useful. Anything
the
I've said
testing.
about Blazor, anything, all the videos around the standard, definitely watch all of those. I know this is a long and a lot of hours. Some people tell me, Hassan, to be honest with you, we're running your videos in 2x because you're really long-winded. You take a very long time to say things, but that's okay. I'm an old guy too. Like I take my sweet time to kind of cook an idea. before and by the way, I intentionally just for our viewers, I intentionally repeat the same thing 3 different times in 3 different ways because our brains can't even persist more than 75% of what's being
Mm-hmm.
said. This is why I don't really get frustrated at people when I say something and they don't it doesn't come through. I say, well, I said it only one time, so this is on me. I should say it 3 times. anyway, anyway, I have something to teach, so they have to deal with my long-windedness and my, whatever is out there. Let's just go out there and just learn. You know what I mean? Anyway, look at you. You and I hanging out, at night after work. We're just sitting there and writing code. That tells you something, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so you have this guy. Let's add in the dependencies. So what kind of dependencies do we need here? Do you think we need date time broker in here?
I remember you did this question to Manny, was it right?
Yeah.
Uh, I
I
would like
mean,
to say
I
I would
mean,
like to
both of
say
you are
yes.
kind of really close level to
Yeah.
each other, but
I,
you're
I
you're
will
you're you're actually a professional engineer. He's still in school, but you're very close in terms of standardization. Hmm.
I would like to say yes on the foundation side.
Hmm.
Um, the reason why, well, it would be good to know like the time that you make the request, or like, yeah, like when you ask for the API broker to make the request, it would be good to have like the audit date for that
Yeah,
request, right?
yeah.
So
But that doesn't come from the foundation service. It rather comes from the view service that will play the role of the back end of the front end for the client. So the short answer
mm,
is you don't need it in here. Not
mm,
just yet. There will be more to talk about, but as so far you're fine.
okay,
Remember how I told you we'll let the client, the consumer, be the one kind of doing that persistence of data for us?
yeah,
So if you're a consumer of an API, you're the one responsible for setting up that data for us, right? So you have a component and behind it there is a view service. They're sitting next to each other like this, right? And then your foundation service is over here, right? This view service takes care of picking up who's logged in right now, and it picks up what date time it is right now. It's
mm,
in a way, it's sort of a processing slash orchestration. Although that there will be like when we start building something a little bit more advanced, you're gonna love how simplistic the software that we're building is. You probably see it already, but when you see it end to end all the way to the UI, you'll be like, oh my God, I understand every single piece of this. I actually can do this 50 times. Like by the time we reach to the UI, you already all you need is basically an infrastructure task and a component task. You'd be at an engineer level. You already jumped from like programmer, developer, boom, you're at an engineer level, right? But you need to do multiple iterations in terms of CRUD operations and all that. So it's going to be very easy. And then from that onward, some people say to me, oh, okay, I'm an engineer level, right? According to the standard, I'm an engineer level. I'm like, yeah, well, there's engineer one, two, three, and
mm,
infinity based on how many times you did these iterations. Like if you build a CRUD operations, full CRUD operations end to end one time, you become engineer one. If you do it 2 times, you become engineer two, right? So imagine someone who is like an engineer level 200. What does
mm,
that mean? That means that this guy can literally write an entire platform in their sleep, right? But it doesn't just stop there, Ricardo. It goes up to the level where you start evolving. Like the stuff that you're writing right now, if you and I will come back full circle to write the same thing again, and next time you and I are writing this, there'll probably be some very tiny things that have changed because we're always evolving. We're always growing. Anyway,
yeah,
let's add in these two dependencies in here. So we need the API broker and the logging broker, right? That's all we need in
yep,
here. Let's do it.
okay. So let me
I
just
also want you to understand that I know that this is the first time you're doing this from scratch. So I'm gonna be sitting
yeah.
here and watching. Go ahead, my friend.
All right. So if I need the API broker,
Mm,
wait. No. This is the post service. So that means we need the public.
There you go. There he is. Welcome back, my friend. Hi. But private class member because we don't expose those, right?
Right, right, right.
What do
The
what
little
do
details, the little
yeah,
details.
that's okay. You'll do it 50,000 times. You'll even like you'll do it with your eyes closed.
Right, I logging. Hope
Broke. Uh-huh.
logging. Broker.
Yep.
Sysadmin space, and I believe there's a
Mm. If you select both of them and do control period, it will create a constructor for you.
yeah,
There you
that's
go.
the one. That's the one I was looking for. Yep.
Bam.
There we go.
Put each one of them on its own line since it's really extended and long. You can put IAPI broker on one line and iLogin broker on another line. Mm.
Okay.
Okay, and then take line 11. You don't need that guy. You're again, you're very generous with your spaces. Do you know why I catch these things? Because there's a consistent pattern, you know. Anyway, okay, you did this part. Okay, hand this over to me and I'll write the failing test. What do you think about that?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it.
All right. So I guess I would say Cobra for this, right?
No, 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 no. You're in here. You
No.
just usually
Oh.
usually we just sit the failing test, but I want you know what? Do the failing test. Let's go.
Oh. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Let's do the failing test
Uh,
because it's gonna be a while before you do this again. I want you to do it now. Yeah, foundations,
so,
posts. Hmm.
so it's foundation. Um, not forget the S. Post.
Yeah, posts. That's right.
All right. This shortcut doesn't let me create XUnit classes, so I'm gonna have to add it manually here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I think this is the actual, I think this is actually the very first foundation service we're doing on this project. I'm really happy about that. That's pretty cool.
All right. 1 second. I should have it here somewhere. Uh, do you just normally add a class, or is there an XUnit template
No,
on
no,
Visual?
just add a, yeah, no, no, just add a normal class and call it post service tests.cs.
Oh, then that should. Then this in this case, I can do it like this: post service test. Let's see it. All right. Okay. See if I remember this right. I think we need the mocking for this. So I'll need to
That's,
add the NuGet package, right?
I think it's already there. Just try do this private read-only mock and then I API broker. Mm-hmm. And then do control period on that mock thing and see if it gives you something. Yeah, there it
Oh,
is.
oh
Yeah,
nice.
it's already prepped up. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
API broker mock.
Mock. That's right.
Let's see
All the
what's see what's
references. Yep.
there you go.
And mock as
Uh
well.
guess what, right?
Yep.
Of course.
If you do control D, it will copy that line for you, and you can
Yeah.
replace that with the logging broker. Magic.
Yep.
More magic.
Houdini this good thing.
Make it logging, not login.
Oh,
That's Tupac Shakur there. It'd be locked in, my brother. You know what I mean? See why people like pairing with me? I'm just sitting there and just cracking some jokes.
Oh wow.
Mhm.
All
No,
right.
no, no. You don't need that. You
No.
don't need that
No.
construct. So do Control Z and then initialize private read-only I post service, right? So you need the service. It's
Oh,
gonna be so private
right.
read-only and then I post service.
Poster.
Hmm.
This. Yep. Poster.
Yep.
This.
Okay. Now
And
just initialize. If you type in CTOR, it'll create a constructor for you.
yep.
Nice. Now let's
And,
initialize all these mocks and then initialize the service. Go for it.
oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Because they
Hmm.
don't need parameters.
Hmm.
This is just to initialize the mocking. Okay.
Hmm. So do this dot API broker and this dot logging broker so people know that this is a private class member. So like I said to you yesterday, some people decided to do underscore something or other, but that's really bad. If you know the history of this, you will laugh so hard. Let
Yeah.
me, people used to do this underscore and then API broker because there was no dot back then. C sharp 1 with .NET 1, it didn't really have this nice capacity or capability. Let me actually let me actually do like a little interjection here to just show you this piece because this piece is actually cool. I'm gonna take your screen for a second. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So,
I'm actually curious about it because I know that most people use it because they just want
you're
to
gonna
add.
laugh so hard at the history of this. So, a long time ago when C sharp showed up at the early 2000s, right? So that's
Mhm.
some now, oh my God, it's almost so C sharp is now almost 21 years old, right? So so here's the deal. C sharp programming language book, right? So let me just show you in the book itself. Let's see, where is it? 5C building and beyond. I think it's the C sharp programming language. It's this one here, I think. No, actually, no, hold on. C sharp programming specification. Yeah, this is the one. So this is the specification of the language. When people do when people develop like Anders Hallsberg, the guy who invented the language, right? When he first decided to create, here it is. I found it. Here it is. So Anders Hallsberg is the guy that invented C sharp as a programming language. He also invented many other things like Borland C and Turbo, Borland stuff like that. He built a lot of things, and he also is the inventor of TypeScript, right? This here is one of the oldest books ever. Look, 1999, 2007. It's the original book. This is the C sharp language specification. Okay. If you type this, I'm gonna go here and say private class member, I think, somewhere here. Give me a second. I'll find it for you. Give me a sec. So in here, if you look at any class, here it is. This is how C sharp used to be written. Look at this. These were private class members. People used to say this underscore C. So today we say this dot C as a private class member. And
Mm.
they didn't use to identify private behind the type because it's by default private. Okay?
Uh,
So so here's the funny part about all of this. People inherited that. They inherited this and they thought, "Oh, let's get rid of the this and keep the underscore because that's what defines a private class member." When in reality, the underscore was nothing but a separator between the word this and C.
oh boy.
And it's funny, I'll tell you why it's funny. because this is the real history of the language, where it's coming from. And that's some 20 something year old thing. Now let me show you what's funny. If you look literally anywhere, see how one idea or one practice, if you type C sharp like this anywhere randomly,
Yeah.
anywhere, okay? And let's just pick up any project, see 179,000, right? And let's just pick up anything really randomly that has C sharp in it, and let's go into, this is in no way, shape, or form, shape or form intentionally looking at I don't know these projects that I'm looking at. I'm just digging here in the wild. So let's see, .NET, I think, and then I don't even know this project. I'm just looking for someone who's defining private class. Look, 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 look. You see it?
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is a random project. I don't know these people. So so people left, they said, "Oh, so in order for us to define private class members, right, all we gotta do is the new and improved is to keep the underscore and get rid of the this, right? But the language itself has evolved into doing this dot that. So we don't need that underscore anymore, right? Now, some people might say to me, well, Hassan, you know, who are you? What the heck do you know? You don't know Anders Heilsberg. You don't know the guy. You never met the guy. What are you talking about? I said, that's right. I never met the guy. That's true. Except that it's not true because I did meet the inventor of C sharp, right? So, so I'm just trying to tell people I really did a little bit of digging into the history. He didn't tell me this, by the way. This is just digging into the actual history of the language, and that's how we learned about. So anybody that you see that's doing underscore, they just inherited that. They saw people doing that, so they're doing it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So is that the reason why Visual Studio keeps telling you you don't need to use the this? Because
No, no, that's a configuration. So Visual Studio is just
ah
trying. So
yeah.
so now let me just help you understand how these development tooling works, right? The development tools at Microsoft work this way. Whatever the market needs. If people overwhelmingly decided to use a pattern that may or may not be correct, we are just building tools. You'll find people building tools to support that pattern, whether Microsoft agrees with that pattern or not, right? This is also not a statement on behalf of Microsoft. I'm just telling you, here's the history of this pattern. In fact, just something for you to know, and you might find this really entertaining. Uh, let's go back to your Visual Studio here and go to Tools real quick. Type Options.
There's probably a configuration for this.
Exactly. If you type this in there, it will say make it mandatory. So say type this. Wait for it. I think, yeah, there you go. C sharp coding style. Click general. There it is.
This
Qualify
preference.
field access with this. See? And if you click that guy, if you click do not prefer into prefer, yep, just click prefer and then click OK. Now all that now they're light.
Ah
Now they're lit
yeah,
up. See?
yeah.
That's
That's
it, my
interesting.
friend. And now you know the history of this. You better listen up. You won't find this anywhere.
The history of this,
Yeah,
literally.
the
This.
history of this. It's true. And
Wow.
again, that's the beauty of pair programming. I can tell you the history of whatever you're clicking on right now. I'll tell you another trick that you might find entertaining. Let's say for instance you're clicking on public, right? Did you know that in Visual Studio, if you click F1 on whatever you're selecting, it will take you to the documentation of that?
Not really.
So put your cursor over read only, for instance.
Okay.
Click F1. What happened? Did it open a web page?
Oh yeah, it did. Seriously?
Mm.
What? So it's like you don't need to type Google, just F1 and there you go.
F1.
Wow.
I don't know how this works. Just click F1 and it will tell you everything. Visual Studio has over What is it the other day that I think it's over 5 million lines of code? There's a lot of magic in this little box that you're looking at.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, let's write the freaking test. It's almost 30 minutes.
Oh,
I could talk for days. I have a lot of stories for you. And I'm glad that we're having this so people who are watching us kind of listen to this. And
I mean, it's really an educational experience right now.
yeah,
I'm quite surprised about it. So,
yeah.
okay, post service would take the API broker mod, right?
Yeah, put
Yes.
put each one of them on its own line and don't forget the parameter aliases or parameter names.
Right. I remember doing
Hmm.
something like that. API
Yeah,
broker would be API broker mod, and then
dot object because the mock itself is not. It's just a wrapper, right? Hmm. Yeah. Let's take another one.
uh, so where's the one?
You need the comma next to object. I think you pushed the comma too soon.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
my bad. My bad on that.
perfect. No worries.
Alright, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Uh, broker, broker mod dot object.
object. That's right.
All right.
Okay. We need a couple of more methods. We need a method that generates a random post. So that means you need to build a filler methods. Are you familiar with filler methods? Your
Um.
PR to OSSH today says you at least looked at them at least once. I'll help you
Yes.
with it. Let's
Yeah.
do this. Private static filler. What's the point of these filler methods, Ricky? What does it do? I'm sorry, I called you Ricky. Is Ricky okay?
That is how they usually call me. Yeah.
Really? Okay, Ricky from now on then. We're friends, right? I think. So what is this filler what does this filler method do?
If I'm not mistaken, this is a way to try to generate, I would say, random properties of the model that you present to this filler.
Why? Why do we need to generate random stuff?
Ah, okay. See if I remember.
Because anyone could fool your test. If your test
Yeah,
says you're
yeah.
gonna return a post with ID 123, anyone can
Anyway,
hard code that.
yeah. That, yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's go to town.
So it would be
Hmm.
post, right? And
Yeah,
then it would be create.
post filler. Nope, it's not
Oh,
random. The
sorry.
filler is not
Right,
random. Mhm.
right. Bro, it's in the other method.
Yep. Yep.
I don't think it takes any parameters, right? They started for
No, it doesn't take any parameters. No.
so it would be returning, and then this is where we create the right.
You
So
probably
it's
want to start with the filler object first. So you want to go and say var filler equal new filler, and then equals
equals no
new
filler
filler post,
post.
and then we can go and say, okay, out of this filler, do a setup, and let's assign. The only thing that we need to set up that the filler doesn't know how to set
There's
up
the
the daytime
daytime, right?
offs.
Yeah,
Let's do that.
offset.
Mhm. Mhm.
So
So this
let's
guy's a
go into
fluent. No, this guy's a fluent API. So you need to just after you the close parentheses, take a new line and just do dot on type. No.
right,
Keep that parenthesis. Yep.
on
On type.
type
Uh,
daytime offset, right?
yeah.
Daytime offset
Uh,
system, and I believe then we would do another dot and
no. Wait. We still need
no.
to. It's on the same line. Use on the same line. So do dot
Oh,
use and then just generate some random daytime offset there.
okay. So it's daytime offset dot UTC now, right?
Let's do it this way for now.
Okay.
Mhm. Okay. Now what? Now we return the filler, right?
Yep. Oh, yep.
Okay. What else? We need a method that actually create a random post, right?
So the private static uh,
Post.
right post. Oops, lost my thought here.
You're fine.
Create random post,
That's right.
and then
Mm.
so we just return the create post filler in this case,
No, we're gonna
or
call create post filler dot create because that filler is gonna create an instance for us, right? Let's
right?
do it.
Okay, so it would be return create post filler dot create.
That's right.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
and
Now we're ready to write a test.
should I
Unless you
make
want,
this fat arrow for this?
unless you want a fat arrow and you move it above the filler because filler methods always stay at the very bottom.
Yep.
We order these methods based on how often they're being used outside of that file that you're in. The ones that are least likely to be used outside of this file go at the very bottom. Mm.
So I'm trying to see if I had any extra spaces.
No, if you just select this private static post, create random post, and just do Alt up and move it all the way upstairs.
Oh,
If you click Alt, yeah, there you go. That's it. Yep, give me a new line here, and then remove the extra line at the bottom, at the very bottom. Done. Okay. Now we need to write a failing test, right?
yep.
Let's do it.
Um, I'm trying to think here because I know for the backend side we had it for validation exception and logic tests.
Don't even worry about any of that now. All you need to do is just create a file that says post service tests.logic.add. Dot remove. That's it.
Okay, so it is logic.
Yep.
Post service test dot logic dot remove dot cs.
Hmm.
Alright,
Should we call
and
it remove by ID? Maybe remove by ID.
okay, let me just remove.
Ooh, what happened here?
Yeah, 1 second.
Okay. You don't need that dot logic stuff.
Yeah, let me just rename it from here.
Yeah. And you probably want to
Yes,
partialize that. Yeah.
yes, it's because of the shortcut that I use for to create those classes. It takes
Gotcha.
it literally. Uh, what am I missing here? Post.
So your node or root file, which is post service tests,
Oh,
make it tests plural, not singular. So post service tests,
okay.
and the same thing for the file above it. And then let's fix the class name. Okay, so on the class level, go to partial service, go to post service tests, and make sure it's partial.
Ah, right.
Perfect. Okay.
This should be
Now
in. This should be inside of this, though, right?
it
Or
should
no?
nest, but Visual Studio is not letting it nest under, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
I think it's based
So,
on the project template. So okay, so we need to write a failing test, right? Let's write a
hmm,
failing test. Mhm.
so I
Uh-huh.
do have public. Uh, we don't do value task on this, so it would be public void
Mhm.
should should fail, right? Should fail.
Should remove post by ID because that's the happy path, right?
Right. Should remove post by ID.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Let's see if I can make this. So just create a post. Actually, I don't need an ID.
Yep. Let's create a random.
Some post ID.
No, this is the happy
No.
path. Let's break our test first into given win then.
Right.
Haha. GWT. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Okay. Let's move on from there. So let's do GUID random post ID. And
Yes.
then
That's the part that I'm still kind of getting confused. When to use a random, when to use sub post, when to
if you're
use maybe post.
you'll do it enough. So when you're doing it the happy path, you're definitely doing it, or it's crucial to the operation. Anyway, if you do GUID new GUID, and then
Yeah.
let's do input post ID.
So input post. Random post.
Mhm. And then let's do random post.
Post. Random post. And then we use the create and the
Mhm.
post. Right.
Fix the type. I would say post. And then let's do removed post. Mhm.
So random post.
Mhm. And then let's do expected post. Equal removed post dot deep clone. So dereference that guy. Deep clone. You need a P after the E.
Right.
Oh, we don't have it installed. Great. Let's install this. It's called Deep Cloner library.
Declone.
Mhm. At the
This
top.
one, right?
Yep, yep.
All right. All right.
Okay,
So,
perfect. All right. Uh-huh. Now let's set up our mock. So our API mock, let's set it up in a way that it takes in the ID and it calls in still within the given area though. So this dot API broker mock and then set up.
Setup.
Mhm.
Booker.
Mhm.
Uh,
So broker dot
oh, right. Booker.
delete post by ID async. Do a tab, another tab, and then returns async, and then your removed post. Let's call it deleted post. Returns async though.
Oh, right. So, I think I forgot an extra parenthesis somewhere.
Yeah, no, you just need to pull in mock. So do control period on returns async. And also instead of removed post, call it deleted post.
Okay.
Control period. Yep. And then give line 23 a tap. One tap.
Yep.
Perfect.
And semicolon.
Okay. The rest is all you. Let's do it.
All right. So it would be this dot. I know this is where we use a I'm guessing we need to use a value task for like an action, right?
No, that's only in the non-happy path, right? Instead, in here, you want to type in post actual post. You're still doing the happy path, right? So let's do post and then actual post and then equal await this dot service dot remove post by ID async. Nope, service, right? We're testing the real thing.
Right.
There we go.
And then the input post I do. And trying to remember if it's
Break from await.
oh wait, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Now let's verify that actual is equivalent to expected, right? Actual post should be equivalent to.
right, fluid insertion, right?
Should.
Should.
See if the library is installed. Yep. And then should be equivalent, dot be equivalent to, and then expected post.
So it's be
Equivalent
to
expected post.
Huh.
Here's a question for you though. Why can't we just say assert actual post equals expected post? What happens if we do that? What happens is that it's going to try to compare references instead of values. And that's not a good thing because we already dereferenced the expected post.
With
So
the decline.
yeah. So assert equal is not going to work exactly, right? Okay. Let's do one more step. There's two things that you need to do. Let's verify that the API broker was actually called properly with, so whatever you did in line 22, 23, we want to verify that.
Wait. I'm good. This is where we use it is any, right? In this
Yep,
case.
just do tap tap. No, you don't need it as any because this is the happy path. We really want to know that the actual ID was passed in. Yep.
Oh wait, input post.
And
That's
right.
Let me just make this this. And
now we just want to verify these dependencies have not been called anywhere else.
Yep. Happy path. Keep forgetting the happy path.
Yep. Dot verify no other call. The same thing for the logging broker, right?
Good.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and run that test. You have a failing test now, technically.
Yeah, I definitely need to make more failing tests to practice in this.
I'm here. Don't worry, you'll do hundreds of them. But the one thing I ask of you is that whatever you learn, keep practicing, keep working on this. This is why I built this Git file project, so engineers have a vision. They know what they need to invest in. Your skill set, basically. I just added a new feature and it now can tell you how many projects you're working on. You should have 2, and then after we merge this one, you will have 3 projects, right? I think.
Yeah.
How many projects does it say now? Go ahead.
Actually, I have 3.
3. Nice. Cool. I'll roll up a new feature that tells engineers how much percentage of their overall contributions They have contributed to each and every project. So this way, you know, you need to give some projects some love and start exploring there and all that. Even
Nice.
more importantly, the next feature also is going to include if you're working on a project and this project is tagged properly, it will collect these tags and say this guy knows this particular domain. Like for instance, we're working on social media, right? Now that
Mhm.
you're building a social media platform for me, now you're building that domain experience. It's called social media platform. Okay, if you're working on OSSS, it will say this guy has building schooling platforms. That's the business domain of that. And based on your contribution to that project in terms of percentage, it reflects on your domain knowledge as well. I have a lot of ideas. I'm just sitting here having fun. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay, so you are, there you go. You have a failing test. Is
Uh,
it failing for the right reasons though? Not implemented. Perfect.
yep.
All right, let's see if I can make it pass in 5 minutes. Let's go.
I'm pretty sure you will.
You think so? I don't know. I'm getting a little rusty.
Uh, oh wow.
That's not true.
I think I've gotten lost. So it'd be
Yeah.
foundations, right?
No, no, no. Just the failing
No.
test and then thin arrow and you'll say fail.
Wow. I've seen them a million times. I keep forgetting that.
You're not with me today. Careful, because this standard actually shows right away who's awake and who's asleep. All
I
right,
mean, it's
man.
almost 11 here. So
Awesome. Perfect, man. All right, let's go back to this guy here, to this Star Raffle portal. I'm gonna go and pull that nice branch of yours that you created. I'm gonna go to main. I'm gonna do a sync up like this. And then I'm gonna go and say test explorer. Let's go here and run. Okay, so this is the main and then you, so it's gonna be very easy because if I look for foundations, I can find your stuff. You're sure you pushed your stuff? You're good?
yeah.
Okay, let's see if so I need to fetch and then go to remotes. What's your branch called? Did you push straight to the main?
Mm, no, it's I created a branch
Nope,
on
you're
a
in
map.
the, are you? Let's see. What's your branch called? Users, foundations post remove, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to my stream and let me do this. This is Tarafu portal, right? So we're on the same page. And this is where we did delete by ID yesterday, right? Okay, maybe I missed something. So let's go here, remotes. Nope, I don't see you. You don't have direct access to the. Let's go to GitHub. GitHub will tell us actually if you actually have. Let me go here to GitHub real quick and see where your stuff is at. So this is Tarafu portal or Tarafu web rather. And then in branches, we should have yours, right? So you should have, nope, I don't see your branches. Did you push it to your cloned branches, maybe forked branch?
Yeah, I did the fork.
Ah, okay. Create a pull request against this. I'm gonna merge it into master, and I'm gonna create a new branch, and we can work on that branch. So just
Okay.
so if you go to, yeah, go ahead. I think you are a contributor to this. So you probably want to purge your existing branch, your existing repo. Yeah, I added you in here as a collaborator. So you should be in good stance.
Okay. So for web.
Uh,
Okay.
mm.
So should I use as the title? In this case, I would use the foundation, or do I leave it as it is?
Oh, no, you'll just basically say, oh man, this is a little complicated. Yeah, I guess I'll write in foundations. It's okay. Doing foundations.
You just put so should we post by the failing test.
All right. Hmm, you're good?
So yeah, I'm good. I already created the pull request. So should I not fork then for next time or
No, just push straight because I already added you as a collaborator. If you're working on your own and you're not pairing with me, that's fine. You can fork. But now that you're a
uh
collaborator, now we can create branches on the same thing, right?
gotcha, gotcha.
So
Okay.
okay, I'm gonna take that guy in, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another branch here, and this branch is gonna be basically giving us, so you're gonna be in a failing state for a while here. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna basically, I'm gonna sync this up. I'm gonna create a new branch. Just make sure that next time or tomorrow, because we're gonna be working on this a lot,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, make sure you have this new branch that I'm gonna be creating. So this users, Hassan, Habib, slash foundations, dash post, dash remove by ID. Okay. So I have this guy here, and then I should have your failing test in here. We don't need that delete me file anymore. So that's gone. And then if I go into your tests, now I see your failing tests. Let's go here. And then I'm gonna make your test pass real quick. Here we go. So that's test is failing. And then I'm gonna go here and let me add in some header files in here. So that's this guy and that's this guy too. Okay, cool. So we have these two. Now I can go here and basically make it pass, right? So I can go into your services, foundations, posts, iPost service, and I can go here and really fat arrow this guy real quick. So I can go here and say, await this dot API broker. Did you see what Visual Studio just did? It wrote a sync for me. Did you see that move? That's a
Yeah.
power move. Watch this, watch this. I'm gonna go down here. Watch, watch. Here's a little magic. So I go down here and I say await. You see what I just did? Anyway,
Wait,
this
is that a configuration or a new feature?
I didn't add anything. I use Visual Studio natively. Like a lot of people, oh, did you fix the fonts and the file? I'm like, I don't do anything. I just use it as is.
I'm guessing this is because most people would forget the async
Of course. And
keyword.
then they spend a
Yeah,
couple of hours just trying to figure out what happened. Why is it not working? Right?
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes, sir. Okay, so let's go here. Let's go and pick up that test here. And we should be having a post by ID async. Let me fix the name of your test here. And then this is your branch. So that's what a pass, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go down and clean up a couple of things. Remember how I told you, oh, you know, you have date time broker. I'm just gonna go real quick in here and say static date time offset, get random date time offset like this. And I said, hey, let's go and say the new date time range. And earliest date would be new date time. So that's day one, year one. And then I say get value. So that's perfect. And then I can go here and say get random date time offset. Okay, so that's
Um,
done. So that's just a little cleanup. And then I'm just going to run cleanup across the board here. So this whole thing is being cleaned up. And then I'm going to go up in here and say, okay, this is code rub, right? And then just clean up files. So that's pretty much it for today. Tomorrow, you and I will continue this session, but I owe you a failing test. Remember that because I will forget. I owe you a failing test where, you know, we need to throw a validation exception if the ID is invalid. Does that make
hmm,
sense? If the
yep,
ID that is being passed in is empty, we need to validate that. Does that make sense?
makes sense. Yep.
Any questions, comments, anything at all? Are you good?
Practice, practice, practice.
A lot, a lot, a
Yeah.
lot, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Ricardo. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care. Bye.
Bye.